The ultimate force behind any movie plot. Why not?
Why not?
Why is E.T. an alien? Why not?
Why not? Why does this happen? Why not?
Exactly. That's from one of my favorite opening monologues in any movie ever, and it's from the movie Rubber, which is about a tire that rolls around blowing up people's heads.
Why not?
Why not? It is the most bizarre movie I've ever watched, and I absolutely love it because it just makes no fucking sense.
I feel like people get too caught up on realism when it comes to art. Sometimes I don't think things matter.
That's the thing.
As long as I had a good time, I don't care if you can explain it to me with completely accurate continuity.
Sometimes you just need a little bit of why not?
The dumb fun.
I'm going to spoil Rubber because I think it has my favorite conclusion of any movie ever. The cops try to set up a trap for Robert the Tire because, yes, that is its name. And no, it's not explained in the movie at all, but it's in the movie description and the end credits. So that's how we know.
Why not?
Why not? But they can't get it to fall for any traps. So one of the cops just follows it into a trailer with a shotgun and just shoots it a whole bunch of times with the shotgun and is like, there, movie's over. And that's how it ends.
I think one of my favorite movie endings is that one where the guy takes out the flare gun and shoots the guy and he explodes.
That's Getaven.
No, it's called Blood something.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, it's like Blood Feud or something like that.
Yeah.
It's another one of those movies made by a white real estate developer with a mustache and extra cash. Because that's what all those self-indulgent filmmakers are. They're all real estate developers or some shit.
I mean, I've begun to realize that that's how you get money in life is real estate. You don't really have to produce much. You just have to own stuff.
We should own stuff.
We should own stuff. We should buy property.
We should.
The protagonist's seat will be a literal chair soon enough.
We will own the protagonist seat. We will manufacture protagonist seats, and we will sell them.
I feel like we're going to be like snake peddlers, like, step right up there, you sit in that chair, you'll be the protagonist of your very own series.
I mean, I don't know jack shit about carpentry, so it's got to have something to sell it.
Don't worry, I can sell it. You just make the chairs, and I'll just lie.
It's the perfect dynamic.
Ian makes chairs, I lie. What more did you need?
We go on to Shark Tank, and that's our business strategy.
Yeah, it's like, so what do these chairs do? Absolutely nothing. They're just regular chairs, but we lie and say that they're worth more. And then the one dude who's the super capitalist dude on there is like, I like it. I'm in.
I think you've got a very bold business strategy, and I think it's got a lot of potential. I'm in. You put in $500,000 and you get 1% of the business. I like your business strategy. I see it going places. I'm in.
And for that, I'm in.
And then we just let Protagonist Chairs Incorporated go under, and we sell it to someone else. And then we make off with all that sweet cash.
And then we just buy, I don't know, just buy a local business strip and then just rent it out to businesses. And then we just have a constant income that way. And that's
buy
it. That's the last thing we do.
Start with an ice cream place, because those never go out of business in New Hampshire.
That's true. They go out of business for half the year.
Yeah, for a couple months. Keeps overhead low. There's one near me that opens in February. That's when their operating season starts. And I'm like, guys, what are you even doing?
Nothing I want more during a cold, wet February day than some Rocky Road ice cream, dude.
Then just get that nice Sunday.
With the
I
sprinkles and all that.
I don't get it, but I do see they get business. So it's like it works. It works for them.
If it works, it works.
Yeah. You know what works? Our podcast works, kind of.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. It comes and goes.
But yeah, Protagonist Seat, the anime podcast. It's episode 10. You're either in it or you're not in it. We're here. I'm Alex. That's Ian. Let's dive right into it. 86. Holy shit, this is such a good show.
Show is so goddamn good.
I'm so glad we're getting a second core. This was the last episode. We're getting a special next week, though.
Yep. So we're going to cover the special because it's good.
Just like so much good shit.
Watching everyone survive is just amazing.
Again, the editing in this show is top notch. I really like that final scene with the brother.
Yep. The little almost like I don't want to say hallucination, but like
and it's that almost shot like where it cuts to like Shin without, well, it's all scribbled out, so it's like, oh, did he get his head cut off? But there's multiple light novels, so, and he's on the cover of them, so we know he didn't.
Yeah. I'm assuming that they did that because at the time they might not have known they were getting a second core.
No, they usually know well in advance. I think it's like just to like keep you in suspense.
Yeah.
I saw people saying you can see his chin.
all the light novel people also like to come in and be like, guys, he doesn't die.
And
guys, it's fine.
And also a lot of just good shots of, I liked how they even showed the that statue or like that little mannequin they had with like the pig sign around it.
Yes.
At the end of this, it doesn't have the head on it during like the credits.
The head's finally fallen off. The sign is gone.
We lost Best Boy Fido at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah, he takes a hit. He takes a hit for Undertaker.
It's in this episode too. We see how they're still on their journey, but most of their juggernauts have they're essentially done. The only one they really have left is just Undertaker, and they have a bunch of small arms, which aren't really that effective.
No, they do get some robo kills with them. I'll give them a little bit of credit.
Yeah,
they get some robo kills,
and they're gonna basically switch off who's piloting Juggernaut, and apparently all of them can do it. It's just Laughing Fox or Theo even says how Shin's settings are always super finicky.
Yeah, because Shin's like the ace, so of course his mech is like calibrated real weird.
Yeah.
And we just kind of like, I like just following him around. Like we're just literally just hanging out with him.
Yeah, I like the slow pace the show takes, or has kind of taken with these last two episodes of just them out in the world. Also, they're really far now. Like, I don't even think they're in, like, Gyard territory anymore, because they're in an area that is basically, like, Japanese schools and stuff.
They're in the Empire, or what was the Empire. Because the goal of the recon mission is to go into, like, the heart of Imperial territory and try and get intel on the robots.
And they basically did go into the Empire territory, because now they're seeing a lot more patrols.
And they do a pretty decent job dodging them for the most part, but we get another little nice sequence where they come across a school.
Yeah, and they have their little scene where they're all sitting there wondering what it's like to have gone to school.
I think Shin and the lieutenant have gone to school, but I don't think anyone else has.
Oh, Raiden, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Shin, Raiden, Theo, Anju, and I forget the redheaded girl's name.
It's like Karena or something like that.
Yeah.
I think Anju has been to school too, actually, because now that I think about it, she was the one who was doing roll call.
Yeah. Actually, I think they all have, but it's just not only when they were really little kids, since they all were like children when they had to get drafted into war.
I know at the very least Karena hasn't because someone specifically comments on it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's Raiden.
I think she's younger than the rest of them, too.
Yeah. She was probably born into a camp.
Yeah. Because Shin was pretty young when you see like his brother fighting.
Yeah.
But yeah, they enjoy their time doing that, and then they continue to move on, and Shin actually forces a switch with Anju because, of course, I knew the second that was happening, I'm like, oh, he wants to switch because he senses a group's coming.
And you can read it on his face, too.
But, of course, they go after him anyway because, they're friends.
Ride or die.
Yeah, ride or die homies. But they only have small arms, and that's not super effective. Also, we see a new type of robot, which looks like people just running at them.
Those we've seen once before. They're the ones who killed the guy
they
who...
dogpiled on I forget his name, but the blonde dude.
Yeah, it's the one who had a crush on Anju.
Yeah. Yeah, they killed him. So basically those things just run around and suicide bomb.
Yeah.
And they took out Theo, but I think he's probably going to be okay. I think they're all going to get saved by some other country or fighting force. Like probably whatever's left of the Empire. Like their resistance or whatever.
I think that's a pretty easy guess to make. Because
otherwise they're all dead.
It shows a shot of everybody kind of motionless on the ground, but there's no
wounds on them.
Yeah.
They are dramatic wounded. Where it's more just, a large concussive blast. I will go unconscious for a bit.
Pretty much. And also,
we get some cool stuff with, go on.
One thing I've noticed about the show is they don't show dead bodies. And they don't really show people dying. So it would be really out of character in the last episode to all of a sudden just be like, hey, here's a static shot of everyone's corpses.
Yeah, which is why I don't think that, or I can't imagine that if we get an episode with the city being under attack, we're probably going to see too much.
No, probably not.
It's probably just going to be like a wave of civilians being like, what is that? And then a bunch of robots rush past them and we can't see what happened. And then like the onslaught of robots marching.
We'd probably get like a cool scene or a cool shot from like inside a house where people are like cowering below a window and we just see robots sprinting by and hear people screaming.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we'd like see like a full massacre or anything, or like people getting decapitated just left and right.
Nah, and I'm pretty cool with that.
Yeah,
because that's the tone of the show.
We're here for the drama, not for the violence.
Yeah, and the drama is very good.
Also, we see Lena actually visits the 86 compound where the Spearhead Squadron was stationed.
Yep, she wants to go try and find traces of them.
And also because she's now the handler of the new squad, I'm pretty sure with the new squad she's going to want to actually be like, hey, I'm viewing you as people. I'm coming to see you.
Yeah. Hello, it is me, your handler.
And the caretaker guy there, the dude with the sunglasses that briefs them on all their missions, reveals that he is a Alba. He just dyes his hair.
He just it explains why he's so old too, and he hasn't been sent out on like missions and stuff.
Yeah, he is Alba, and he dyed his hair and wears sunglasses because his wife and daughter were another race.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he came to try and keep them safe, but he was too late.
Yep. So he tried to go to the camps to get sent to the camps himself to find them, but they already went off and died.
Feels bad, man.
And he asked Shin if he heard any voices out there about a woman or two women angry at their dad and husband who couldn't protect them, and Shin said he didn't hear anything like that.
Which is pretty reassuring.
Yeah.
You love to hear it.
And we see the whole new group of 86s showing up, and Lena goes through their little base area, finds the cat, and then she opens up the drawer and finds the picture of her as the pig and notes from all of them as they left. And it's a really nice scene.
It really is.
And basically, they all ask a bunch of things. Shin basically just tells her to leave flowers behind for them.
Yep.
And we just get a nice shot of her staring down at the railroad that they left.
And she's like, I'm gonna keep on keeping on.
Yeah, and instead of her looking all sad, she looks all determined now.
Lena is filled with determination.
So I imagine if this city does get attacked, she's going to probably be... the city will probably be attacked, and she will probably be the sole person to keep things from being, worst-case scenario.
Yeah.
Where it's everyone else is horribly incompetent and don't know what to do. We need someone to take control of this situation.
And then Lena pops up. She's like, haha, I've kept my 86 close at hand to protect the city. Also mortars, because fuck it.
Even though you guys haven't really kept up on these, and most of them don't work.
Which is probably even better if we're going to be shooting them near the city.
Yeah. Imagine being that incompetent of a military. I'd say that actually now, and then I think about it, and think about all the weird stories of times we've almost nuked ourselves.
Yeah.
Like that time they were transporting a nuclear bomb in, over South Carolina or something and accidentally dropped it, but it didn't detonate.
Yep, and it was just, sitting in a lake for a long time. Well, they tried to find it. We lost a nuke inside the United States.
No, it landed in a field. It just didn't go off. It was just dunk. Imagine being in that plane. I would have just been sitting there with my entire heart just dropping. I would have been did I just accidentally start World War III?
How do you not just shit your pants? Because there's no way you're making it out of there. You've also just killed countless Americans by accident.
How did what would the government even do at that point? Did they say they fucked up that bad, or just save face and go, we were attacked. Fuck it, we're doing this.
That's kind of the weird question.
Because I feel like if I was in that situation, I'm like, I can't admit to this.
We can't admit that we nuked ourselves.
Also, shout out to that absolute Chad in the Soviet Union when their computer system wasn't working right. And it looked it basically looked like we were shooting every single bomb possible at them. And he was they're like, all right, we should retaliate. And he said, let's wait a minute. Let's just not shoot every single thing we got and start World War III. And then they checked and they're like, oh yeah, there was a computer issue. Thanks, guy, for making sure mankind didn't end back then. Did he ever win a Nobel Prize? Because he should have won a Nobel Prize.
Yeah, he
Although I guess fuck the Nobel Prize, because everyone who wins the Nobel Prize usually ends up being someone that bombs countries.
That's true.
So it doesn't really mean much.
It meant a lot to the first guy. And that's about it. Humanity has come so close to just annihilating itself.
Yeah.
We're just chilling.
But yeah, I really love this show. This show has been an absolute ride. It's just been great.
It is an amazing show.
I can't wait for the second season because I want to see what happens.
Me too.
I'm not going to read it because I want the pretty pictures, especially because I feel like whoever's the director of this is doing a fantastic job.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd,
props
I'd
to this
say
director.
I'd say the visuals definitely set this apart from pretty much everything. It's just very good. They did a good job, guys.
I also think they did a good job with Shadow's house.
Hell yeah. Way to make a likable cast of characters.
Yeah, I really like the Shadow's house characters. In this episode where we left off, where everybody's all the living dolls have been brainwashed, but we find out that they're all human, which is pretty much expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're human.
We learn that basically they go down to the village and they just kind of pick kids from the village as an offering.
Because we see that guy Ryan use his regular face, not his shadow form. And he looks like a tired motherfucker.
Yeah, speaking of Ryan's regular face.
Yeah, he looks like Dr. Licht.
He does. He's like a much more evil Dr. Licht. And he's creepy as shit looking. Like,
yeah. But the other lady's really attractive.
Of course. To be fair, that's probably how I would work that organization. We'll send the creepy looking dude, but we will also send the very attractive woman.
Yeah, so they offer up their kids because they think they're going to go get good jobs up at the Lord's mansion.
You're not entirely wrong, I guess. You're not right, but...
And I felt bad for Emilico in this episode because Kate goes into Emilico's room and finds her diary of things she should not remember, so she's going to write them down so she can definitely not remember them.
Which probably helped contribute to her kind of getting her sentience back in the first place.
Yep, but Kate saw that and then realized, oh, scorch sickness or whatever. Water helps get rid of it, drinking lots of water. So she decides, she's like, oh, why didn't they tell us Shadows about that? So then she has Emilico drink a lot of water, and I started to feel bad for her because it's like she can't say no, but it's like I get she's trying to help her, but I'm like, this scene was just so like, aw.
It is very, very painful looking. It looks awful.
She's like, drink this water. You just want me to drink the water? Yep. Okay. More. And then she keeps giving her water, and she's like, I don't think I can drink anymore. Drink it. Okay. And then she starts like throwing up in the bucket that she has nearby. Drink some more.
I don't know if that's a good idea. Drink it.
And then eventually Emilico starts crying, and then Kate goes over and hugs her because she's like, I'm sorry, you don't have to drink anymore. And she's like, no, I'm not crying because of that. I'm crying because of rum. And then she realizes, oh, she's coming back to normal.
Yep. It was not necessarily the water, but her memories of sentimentality.
No, I think the water helped.
Probably.
But yeah, so then they had... so Emilico gets her sentience back, but then all of a sudden one of the veiled dolls comes by her room, and Emilico goes missing.
Who could possibly be in the veiled doll?
And we find out real quick it's Edward, just because Louise doesn't like Edward. She's like, oh yeah, probably him.
It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
Oh, but first she goes to John's room, and John is all sad about Sean. And I love... John and Sean are just great. I love the way John decides to get Sean back to normal, not using water or anything, just punching him. He's like, wait, but my face, my lord. He's like, I don't care.
John's solution is violence. That's the
John
best.
John chose violence.
So you have chosen death.
But yeah, John punches Sean until Sean punches him. And then after the two have a fist fight, everything's back to normal. And of course, John's all happy about it, but Sean's just like, I just punched my lord in the face.
Like a bunch. We just kicked the shit out of each other. At least
yeah.
they match.
And then the group gets together because they meet up with Ricky, Patrick, and Lou and Louise to tell them what they've learned. And of course, Patrick decides to help because, I think Patrick feels like he owes Emilico still. Yep. And Louise wants to help just because she doesn't like Edward. But Louise seems kind of fine with just keeping Lou as like a mindless doll.
Yeah.
And she's like, look, I can just like make her change her emotions on her face. Isn't that great?
We learn that Louise's power is like weird, almost soot puppetry.
Yeah,
where
she can breathe her soot into you and then like mess with your emotions.
Yeah, it's weird and it's creepy and I don't like it. I don't like Louise. She creeps me out.
Yeah. I hope we get regular Lou back, because Lou's actually interesting.
Lou's nice. And I think her and Ricky have a crush on each other, and I think that's adorable.
Yeah. Because I know Patrick will want regular Ricky back.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Patrick relies too much on Ricky.
Ricky wears the pants in that relationship.
Ricky's the master. But, yeah. So we see that Edward has kidnapped Emilico. We don't know what he's intending to do, but his plan is to basically expose Kate for being shitty, because that's his plan. He's just gonna ruin Kate's whole thing to make himself look good.
That's his plan. That's his plan for moving on up.
Gotta have someone else take a fall for you.
We see that Kate kind of has her own plans, because Kate seems to know a lot about what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I feel like the kids are going to try to change the status quo of the Shadows house.
Yeah. I think I'd be down with that.
But we shall see.
So far, Kate, Emilico, John, and Sean know that the living dolls are humans, but they haven't told anyone else yet.
Yeah. But we will see what happens with that, because it is pretty apparent that we're gonna probably be dealing with, because I think we only have one more episode left, so Edward's probably gonna have his plans foiled pretty quickly.
Yeah. I want to know what he's doing, because he's got Emilico like tied up to a chair in a dark room.
Oh yeah, and they were making some tea.
Yeah. What's in the tea?
Spilled the tea.
What's in the tea?
But yeah.
Now we should spill the tea on Higehiro.
Sayu's brother is too nice of a guy.
They, in attempting to make him an understanding and kind person, they went
make him a
way
pushover.
too far. He's understanding to the point where he just lets...
He's easy to take advantage of.
Yeah, and I feel bad.
He is the parent in a Pokemon game.
He really is.
All right, Mom, I'm going to go off on an adventure around the world. Goodbye. All right, see you later. Now I get to go fuck Professor Oak. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
That's in everyone's headcanon. Everyone knows that Professor Oak bangs your mom in that Pokemon game.
That's why he gets rid of you. You're in the way.
He's got
Professor Oak
somehow.
and Edward have a lot in common. They just got to get rid of you. It's part of their plan. Get rid of you. You're just a kid that's in their way.
Two men who hate children. Edward and Professor Oak.
He doesn't even remember his own grandson's name.
What's this fucking kid's? You probably know his name. What is it?
His name's Ass Farts. That's right, my grandson, Ass Farts.
All right, have fun, ass farts. My name's Gary. What was that, ass farts?
Yeah.
Pokemon's kind of.
So Sayu goes to school as it's closed, and she has herself finally a cry. The cry she needed to have.
Yeah, she goes to the school to confront the death of her friend, and she tells uh,
Yoshida.
Yoshida all about it.
Also, I like the part where they were on the plane. That was cute.
Yeah.
Just looking around. But yeah, it's just that's what happens. So they go to the school. She has the cry that she needs to have, and she comes to terms with the death of her friend.
And then they go to meet Mom.
Yeah, and then they go to meet Mom, and the first thing she does is slap Sayu, which, to be fair, like, Yoshida gets really mad at first, but I'm like, that's kind of a normal mom reaction if you run away for 6 months.
That is also what I was thinking.
Like,
and that's probably...
my mom would probably slap the shit out of me if I did that first.
And you know what? That's probably how that situation is going to resolve. I would bet money on it.
Well, everything else has been completely non-drama throughout this entire series, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was how that went too.
You can't have the conflict for too long.
It's written very simply, this show.
Conflict is always the cliffhanger.
I wonder if this is this author's first series.
You know, that wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. This does feel like an early writing project.
It's fine. It's just, kind of bland.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's kind of bland. We're so deep in it now, might as well just finish it. I've heard that people didn't like the light novel ending, which ended recently, so I hope that they do like an anime original ending or something, if that's the case.
The world may never know, except we will, because we'll watch it.
We'll know next week.
Yeah. What else was cool this week? Actually, I should say what else, but like, what was cool this week? Because that was not.
Zombieland Saga was pretty cool.
Zombieland Saga was pretty cool.
This was a good episode. I also like how so the big disaster happens that destroys Saga. It's basically a big like flood. Everyone has to sort of evacuate to like the shopping mall is turned into like a refugee community center thing.
Yeah, because the actual shelter itself is fucked up so bad.
And their house is just gone.
It's rubble.
It's rubble. And they don't have their makeup, so they have to make do with what they got. So at first they actually start helping out because, of course, that's what they do. That's what these zombie girls do. They don't just sit around like everybody else. They go and they help with all the chores and stuff, and then they perform for the kiddos.
Yeah, and it's very wholesome, and I like it a lot.
I did like the scene where at the first night where all the kids are like crying, like, Mom, I want to go home, that Lily starts doing her scat dance. Shoo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-boop.
Shoop boop 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 boop.
And it calms all the kids down. So then they basically just start performing nightly for the kids.
It's good stuff, because it's like they're saving a community with idle stuff.
And then we see the reporter guy shows up and he's watching them. He doesn't do anything at first, but their makeup is starting to peel, and no other makeup's really going to work because they need the same type that Kotaro has. So they come up with the idea to make masks out of plaster.
And I think that's a clever solution, but it doesn't work.
So the masks immediately break on them, and they are exposed as zombies in front of everybody. The guy is even like standing, the reporter guy in the background, and in his mind, like, oh, what are they gonna do now? Those fools! And then they apologize to the crowd, and they're like, we have something to tell you. We're zombies. And all the kids just go, you're not zombies. Zombies are scary. You guys are nice.
Yeah, you guys are too cute to be zombies.
And then they decide to run with it and go, yeah, we tried to scare you. We put on all this zombie makeup.
And then they do a show, because fuck it.
And
Well,
after I love the part where as they're doing the show, the reporter guy's like they faced every single obstacle and overcame it, and then immediately next to him, Kotaro's there and goes, "That's just who Fran Shushu is." And he's like, "Holy shit, what are you doing here?"
Yeah, I do love because like this whole time he's trapped in the bar with
Yeah,
the
he's been
old
stuck
guy.
underwater, and of course, the one person that finds him is like the same cop we've seen throughout the entire series.
I'll admit I was excited when because almost to an irrational extent, because like that guy hasn't really done anything, but he's a character I recognize so well. I'm like, oh shit, it's the cop. It's the cop, guys. It's gonna save him.
This episode has made me like this season a little bit more, just because it kind of shows the importance of the community, and that's what we were doing most of this season of Saga, is just community stuff. Like, for example, when he ends up escaping, he runs all around town looking for them, and he finds the biker gang girls who now do boat racing, and they're basically bringing around supplies using their boats, and he has them take him across.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I also like the song that plays because I think he's the one who's singing the song.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, he's the one singing the song because Miyamo Momoro is actually a singer. Like, he's actually a really good singer. He's the one that did. He was the voice actor for Kuro in Inspector, and he also did the ED for that show, like "Save Last Dance for You."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a singer.
That makes sense. I forgot about that completely.
Arguably, he might be the best singer in the show. Funny enough.
Hey, man, that puts him in the perfect position to lead the idol group.
Yeah, I really do like Momoro. Also, he voices one of my favorite characters. I am Mad the Scientist. It's so cool. You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Hyo and Kyoma. Yeah, he's
I
Okabe
totally
from Steins
forgot
Gate.
about that too.
He voices a lot of good characters.
He does.
And he's a good singer. All of his songs are pretty good. He's done a lot of different OPs and EDs.
You love to hear it.
You love to hear it. But yeah, at the end, he gives a big speech on how, even though all this is going on, they are still going to perform at EFS in 6 days.
Because they need to save Saga.
And then Sakura does this really nice scene where she goes and thanks him for all the work he's been putting in. And we get a little flashback to him when he was younger, and how basically what he's doing all this because he just wants to see her smile.
Yeah.
And his real name is Inoue.
He is not the man.
Yeah, he's not the same guy. Yeah. Also, theory disproven, he is definitely not the guy from Yugiri's backstory.
Correct.
He's
two
a different
guys.
Just a different guy with the same dream.
And it's very nice. I want to know. I want more concrete things about his backstory instead of just like quick flashbacks.
I think it's enough to infer that he probably in school had a crush on Sakura, and then after she died without her dream being fulfilled, he probably wanted to make sure she was able to do that. And then he, in his despair, went and found the necromancer guy.
I think that's a pretty safe bet.
He's like, I'm gonna make a real idol group. And he actually, in this episode, asks the news guy to help him.
He's going to need it. He's going to need all hands on deck.
And I think after seeing their performance, the news guy's like, you know what? I'm not going to expose these girls. They did too much to help this community.
They weren't doing it just to make Tatsumi a profit, because they were very bad at that, to be totally honest.
Yeah, they throughout most of the show, they made negative money.
Yes.
In fact, the most money they ever got was from Tay betting on the boat races.
Tay
On
accidentally, exactly, she wins on accident.
They didn't even make the most money from idle stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm excited for the ending.
me too.
I wonder if this is it, like just season 2.
I
Because I
think
can't
it
imagine
is.
a Zombieland season 3.
I think it is.
Because I feel like we're hitting a big conclusion, and I don't think you can really top that. Like, all of Saga gets destroyed, but the girls bring it back from the brink of ruin.
Right.
Because otherwise you'd just be doing it again. Unless they're doing like a Zombieland Saga, the world,
Zombieland Saga, The Conquering.
where they have to go global. Global idols.
I
That
think
might
that'd
be
be,
fun. If they were ever to do it again, they definitely have to go beyond Saga.
yeah. Part of me, like, I would be down for that and I would watch it. But part of me kind of thinks that, like, maybe Saga's where they belong. Maybe that's where we've got to keep them.
He did say to Sakura, though, that he wasn't just going to make her the biggest idol in Saga, that he was going to make her shine so bright the whole world would see her.
That's true. But
I guess we'll
what
see.
happens if he tries to leave the Necromancer in Saga? Can they even leave Saga?
It depends if the Necromancer brought them back or if he did. Like, if he learned Necromancy.
Exactly. Who knows?
But who knows? Maybe they could go to another country and they find, like, a European idol group, and they're actually all vampires.
That'd be kind of funny. I could see some antics with that.
But yeah.
I like this show. It's a good show.
It's the one I like watching best to wind down, which I thought was going to be Higehiro, but Higehiro I just kind of turn my brain off for, and not like the kind of I'm relaxing way, more like the I am not absorbing anything right now. I'm in stasis. I'm just in a blank stasis.
They say everything goes sleep and cry, or all your brain shuts down and cryo sleep. Oh, but the reptilian side.
Yeah. Iruma was good.
Iruma
I really
was
liked
good.
the new teacher.
He's a very cozy lad for being the scariest fucking guy ever.
What's his name? Balm?
I believe so.
Yeah, Balm Sensei. So he's really intense, and everyone's afraid of him, but turns out he's only really intense just because he's really nerdy about his material.
This dude...
And he just doesn't really understand, like, personal space.
He needs to touch every living thing. That's his thing.
Yeah. So he ends up touching everybody, and then he picks up Iruma and starts touching him, and then all of a sudden he's like, huh? And he starts feeling Iruma's back. He's like, huh. This is where your wings should be. And then he freaks out because he thinks something's wrong with Iruma and starts running to the office with all the teachers.
Everybody feel this kid's back. He doesn't have wings. We got to do something.
And then he lifts up Iruma's shirt, and everyone's like, and then you see that there is a pair of wings there. They're just really tiny. And of course, we see that Allie is out of the ring, kind of like leaning back there, just so like last second to cover for him.
Allie coming in clutch. If Iruma wasn't that rank, he would have been fucked.
Yeah, and also, so Allie, since he does that, all the other teachers are like, oh, no wonder you couldn't feel them. They're just really small.
Which doesn't feel...
Yeah, which is probably bad. That's probably it's probably getting like your small penis exposed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the teacher after is like, I'm sorry, that was probably really uncomfortable. So he takes off his mask. And you see that he's kind of got like a fucked up mouth where he just has like giant fangs on one side.
Yeah, he has very vicious fangs, but at one point when he was a child, he was in an accident. So it fucked up his face. He's got a two-face face.
Yeah, but yeah, he does that, so he's like, I hope we're even now. Because, you know, it's unfair if only you get embarrassed today, or you have to show off something embarrassing today. But yeah, Iruma realizes, he takes him to his office, he gets him some tea, and he starts explaining kind of like how it's just he has a passion for beasts and wild creatures and stuff. And Iruma in his mind is like, hey, this guy's a good guy. And he just
And
blurts out, hey, Balm Sensei, I'm human.
yep, not in his mind, just out loud. And that does not go over well.
And the teacher freaks out and starts backing away from him. He's like, you can't just go around saying that. He's like, are you serious?
What if I killed you?
He's like, no one else would react like this besides me.
And that's literally what I was thinking right before he said that. I was like, man, this is probably the only teacher who would react in a somewhat positive way to that knowledge.
It actually helps because Iruma has trouble studying, and this guy's whole thing is picture books and children's books. And since Iruma knows jack shit about the underworld, this is actually the easiest way for him to learn. It's in a simple, easily digestible way.
I love how much Balm Sensei loves making the picture books. Like this is what he wants to do forever.
I also like how he's very protective of Iruma now, where he's kind of like peering into the classroom like, gee.
He's got that like evil aura on him, just.
And turns out he was classmates with Caligo Sensei.
And they get along. They're super chill.
Yeah.
I love how he's like, Balm, what's up? And everyone's like, a demon that Caligo Sensei gets along with?
They stare at each other, and at first, like, all the students are, like, creeped out and, like, afraid, and Caligo stands in front, and he steps up to him, and then they just fist bump.
It's very good.
But yeah, I really like him. He's a good new character.
He's cool, and he feels like a guy who's gonna stick around, and I like that.
Yeah, he feels like a genuinely good guy too.
He's the chillest demon.
Well, he's not chill, but he's just nice. He's sweet.
Yeah, he's the sweetest demon lad.
As you know, he grew up being a big nerd that liked reading picture books about like humans and stuff, and everyone made fun of him.
And now that shows those kids. Now he's met one, and he can study.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I also like how I guess technically he's not the only person that knows, because Amari's dad kind of has an inkling.
I do love that as well. I think that's great. Especially because Amari has such a crush on Iruma, and he's like, you can't date him. You can't date the human.
And Amari seems to kind of have an inkling as well.
Something's off.
Because she's always just like, huh.
Also, he can read the manga.
From the human world?
That no one else can read?
Not the manga, the sacred texts.
That's right, the sacred texts.
Which she has volumes of.
She has like an entire hidden bookshelf of them.
I really like Iruma-kun. It's definitely not the best edited or directed show, because I would say a lot of it's like the animation is simple.
Yeah.
It's a very simply animated show, but I like the characters. I like the situations.
The strength of Iruma-kun is not in the production value, but
I would
it's
actually
in the
say
writing.
Iruma's probably something I will consider, because if this is the last season we're going to get, I'll probably consider reading the manga.
I think it'd be worth it.
Because I do like the character designs. The character designs are nice.
They're cool.
Barring
I like
some
how
of the classmates.
I like the teacher uniform design, and how they're just very open to, like, you don't have to wear the teacher uniform. You want to dress like Darby the Gambler? Go for it.
You want to dress like whatever the fuck Balm is dressed like.
You
want to wear a sleeveless shirt and, like, I don't know, what does he get on for pants? Like cargo shorts?
He's got like little shorts over his weird bird legs.
Yeah.
Balm looks like a weird Soul Calibur create a character.
Yeah. It's good, though.
It's very good.
Yeah, I'd probably check out the manga. It's probably one of the few shonen series that I would actually be interested in reading.
Yeah. I feel like it would like since the strength in it is the writing, I think it would transition very well into like a manga.
Yeah.
You could make that switch pretty easy.
Get it, passion, baby. Get it, passion, baby.
I don't like this
Doki Doki
season's
passion,
OP as
baby.
much. I don't like it as much as the first one.
Yeah, it's not as good as Boppy 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 Loo.
Exactly. That one was freaking boppy boppy bopping.
Bobby Boppin.
Boppy bopping. If you want to see our bops and our flops, then stay tuned. If you're on YouTube, then subscribe and make sure you've got notifications turned on so that you know when we go live.
You have to turn those notifications on.
You have
or don't.
to
It's
do
up
it.
to you. It's up to you. It's a free society for now.
It's true. You could do what some people do and just like let a little backlog of episodes pile up and then just burn through them at work. Whatever.
That would be weird though, because we do something based around current content.
Yes. I wouldn't understand it, but I'm sure that there are some people who do that. We're also on the pod platforms, just basically all of them. We could go through the list, but like,
If you have a pod platform, you can check it out. And if we're not on there, let us know and we'll try to get on that one.
yeah, we'll work with it. We'll see what we can do. You can find us if someone wanted to say learn about where we post episodes. If there was some kind of media that they could interact with us socially.
I would say that they should try our Twitter or our Facebook at Protagonist Seat.
I'd say that's a smart decision. If someone were to have interest in the music that is our OP, I'd say they should check out Popskyy, because his stuff's in the description below. He made it. He's a cool guy. He makes some neat music. I think that's everything.
That is everything.
We did it, guys. We did it.
Stick with us because we probably got like 2-ish more weeks until the awards.
Yeah, we're getting there, bud.
Find out how 86 wins anime of the season.
That's true, because we'll go into we'll get into the nitty gritty. We always do. Find out who wins our OP and ED of the season and why it's Shadows House.
That one's going to be kind of an interesting one because there's a couple of EDs I really like, and most of the OPs I don't.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that we have an ED heavy season, because normally it's like the OPs are really good.
I literally can't even, just because Higehiro is bland enough on its own, I can't even fucking tell you what the OP or ED sound like for it.
If you had an AI randomly, like, well, not randomly, but if you had an AI generate its own romantic comedy anime, well, not even a romantic comedy, just a romantic drama OP, that's what you would get for the Higehiro opening. It is just as generic as the rest of the show.
Yeah, I literally can't even remember it, so that's probably not going to be winning. And we've made it clear that we don't like the what's it called one? The Iruma one. We don't like that one that much. So
Zombieland is okay.
I think I've said before too that I like the 86 ending a lot. The opening is just kind of, it's okay.
I think the song is like, whatever.
The opening's kind of basic. It's just, this is an anime with robots that shoot, and there's the military. Look at it.
Which is weird, because I feel like the ED. We'll get into this more in the awards ceremony. We're pre-balling that stuff.
Yeah, you're getting a sneak preview to the debate process.
Yeah, I feel bad if like someone was like, "Oh, they're in the ending preamble. I'm done with this episode," because they missed some good content. But if you stuck around for this, thanks. You get that Kino stuff.
Yeah, next week when you're watching it, you're like, oh, they're doing best OP. I know what it's not gonna be.
Exactly. Most of them. But thanks for sticking around. We hope to see you again next week. Stay tuned. Our finale episode's coming up. That's always exciting. That's all we've got for you this week. Class dismissed.